In this video, I will be discussing weekly planning and big rocks. This is video 3 in a series of videos that I am doing on what I've learned from taking the Franklin Planner online course. Hi everyone, my name is Tonya. I make videos on functional planning, organization, and small business. Hello. If you didn't know, Franklin Planner offers a free online course on their planning principles. I will link that course under this video, and you can access it by expanding the description area underneath this video. Also, you can save money on the franklinplanner.com website by using discount promo code Tonya Plans. In the last video, we discussed time management, the time matrix, as well as values. In this video, we're going to discuss weekly planning and big rocks. Now, weekly planning is simply this. It is setting some time aside each week so that you can review your goals, your commitments, and your schedule. Weekly planning is important because it allows you to select and schedule your big rocks. Big rocks are those events that are most important to you. That way you can schedule and make time for those big rocks or those important events before your week gets started and before it gets too hectic. So let me just take a moment and do a quick review, because in the previous video we talked about Franklin Planner's 4 steps to planning. And I'm going to turn in the planner guide and just show you again this pyramid. These are the 4 steps in the Franklin Planner system. It starts with identifying your values, which we discussed in the last video. Then next is setting goals, and next it talks about planning weekly and then planning daily. In this video, we're going to talk about planning weekly. That's one of the steps of the Franklin Planner system. These are tips for effective weekly planning. Tip number 1, schedule a day for weekly planning. I like to schedule Sundays for my weekly planning. Sundays I consider like a day of rest for religious reasons, and just also it's the day that I get ready for the work week. So Sunday evenings, I'm normally thinking about, okay, what am I going to wear the next day? I'm thinking about what I want to accomplish for the week, and I try to take a few minutes to sit down and do some weekly planning. And the Franklin Planner course said that the day that you choose for weekly planning is usually a weekend day, and it's a day that's quiet before the work week begins. And for me, that is on Sunday. So some other tips that I got from the course is that weekly planning will usually take no more than about 30 minutes to do. And also, you want to plan in the same place each week, a place that's quiet and inviting. I like to plan sitting up in my bed. It's where I read. It's where I have time for myself. Normally I go to bed before my husband, so I have a few minutes in bed before he comes in the room and turns on the TV. And it's also my time because normally at that time my daughter has already went to bed. So that is a quiet time for me and where I choose to do my weekly planning. And another tip for weekly planning is to make weekly planning a habit. By making it a habit, that way it will not feel like a big production to sit down and get your planner out. It's actually a time that I enjoy. Now, I don't always get to weekly plan, to be honest with you. Sometimes things are hectic, even on the weekend, even on Sundays when I try to sit down and plan. But when I can, it makes me feel so good. It is me time. It is putting myself first. It is self-care. Taking time to think about how you want to spend your most precious asset, which is your time, is self-care in my opinion. Okay, now I would like to discuss the steps that Franklin Planner recommends that you take when you do weekly planning. This is exactly what you are supposed to do when it is time for you to do your weekly planning. Step 1 is to review your values list. In the last video, we talked about values and gave some examples of values. And just as a reminder here are some goal planning pages. But I want to show you this pyramid again. Remember, the base of everything that we do in the Franklin Planner system is based on your values. It's based on what's important to you. So you want to review your values each week, and that kind of keeps you on track and keeps you going with purpose in your life. The next step to weekly planning is to review the previous week. Oh my gosh, that's so important. You know why? Because sometimes we don't get the things done that we wanted to get done in the previous week. I'm not going to show you I have a lot of personal and work related things on my planner pages, so I don't want to show that right now in this video. But it is so important to go back and review your previous week. Sometimes I go back through my previous week and realize there were items that I meant to check off and I didn't, or I thought I did something, or I thought I completed something and realized I need to reschedule it. So reviewing the previous week is so important because it allows you to tie up those loose ends. The next step that you should do when you do your weekly planning section is to review your master task list. What is a master task list? Well, on my Franklin Planner monthly pages, on the back of each one is a master task list. Now, so what is a master task list? Here is where you put things that are not time specific. Things that you want to do for that month that are not time specific. So a couple of months ago, I was thinking about how I wanted to plan out my year, and I decided in this particular month I wanted to take my family to a park, fly a kite, and to go on a picnic at a park near us. Now, I've planned this a couple of months ago before all the coronavirus stuff happened, but that plan to fly a kite and go on a picnic, I didn't have a day for it. So if there's no day for it, remember, if it's not time specific, it goes on the master task list. Now, if something was coming up and I had a day that I know I needed to do it, then that goes on your monthly planner pages. That's the difference. If it's time specific, it goes on your monthly view. If it's not time specific, it goes on your master task list. So when you're doing your weekly planning, it's a good idea to take a look at your master task list and see what you had planned for the month, and then schedule it out on your daily planner pages. Since you're doing your weekly planning, now you can actually schedule out a time or a day that you actually want to complete that item that was in your master task list. The next step is to take a look at and complete your weekly compass cards. And here are my weekly compass cards. They come 2 on a page, it's perforated, and you can put these in a pouch page finder. I am now going to insert a clip that I posted on Instagram with an actual example of me filling out the weekly compass card. By the way, if you're not following me on Instagram, please do so. Please search for Tonya_plans. Hello, my friends. Just wanted to show you what I have written on my weekly compass today. So the weekly compass, the purpose of the weekly compass is that it helps you deal with roles. Sometimes we can get so bogged down in our to-do lists and trying to reach certain goals that we forget what is most important to us. And the weekly compass helps us determine and helps us shape different roles in our life. Now, roles are what you are. For example, I am a wife, I am a mother, I am a daughter, I am a sister, I am a worker, for example. Those are roles in my life. Those are what I do. So the top part of the weekly compass card deals with your role, what my role is. It deals with me. And then at the bottom of the weekly compass card, it deals with the roles of others. But so, for example, at the top of my weekly compass, I have for this week, the best thing I can do this week for myself for physical well-being is to work out and to watch what I'm eating. For social and emotional well-being, I want to do a game night with my family. For mental well-being, this week I plan to do meditation and yoga. For spiritual well-being, I plan to focus on scripture in Ecclesiastics. And I actually printed out that scripture and I have it in my planner so that as I'm going through my days, I can turn the pages, see the scripture, stop and reflect on it. Now this part again deals with the roles as it relates to other people and how you can be better in those roles, because you don't want to get so bogged down with your own agenda that you forget other people, and that's what's important in life. So for example, my role as a wife, I put that the best thing I can do this week is to be attentive to my husband. And if you notice here, it says big rocks. Big rocks are those things that are most important in your life. Everything else falls around it and is considered sand. My next role is I'm a mother. The best thing I could do this week as a mother is talk to my daughter about her feelings and to call my son. My son doesn't live with us, so the best I can do with him is just make sure I call him this week and see how he's doing. Next, Franklin Planner recommends, and this is the final step with weekly planning, they recommend that you fill out your daily spread. I have a daily planner here. It is a day on 2 pages. You don't have to have a daily planner. You don't have to have this planner. But what the point that they're trying to make is this is now the step where you actually fill in when you're going to do stuff. So if I said here that I was going to visit my parents on the weekly compass, I need to actually schedule that in my planner. So when that day comes, I can see, oh yeah, okay, today I'm supposed to go visit them. So you have to make sure it actually makes it on your planner pages. If you have the weekly format, I actually have weekly planner pages in the back because I use both the daily planner pages and weekly planner pages. I use the weekly planner pages to plan my YouTube videos. But no matter what format you have, it's important to take a moment and actually write out what you plan to do daily. So those are the steps for weekly planning as Franklin Planner recommends. Now I want to add something to that. I feel that during your weekly planning is a perfect time to fill out forms that you have. For example, I have this annual yearly fold out, and this is where I record my monthly cycle and things like that, and during my weekly planning, that's when I fill that out. Also, while I do my weekly planning, and this is a little tip that I learned from watching other YouTube videos, is that I have a list of things that I want to make sure I get done weekly. So I got a little sticky note that says weekly routine, and there are just things up here that I want to make sure I do. So when I'm doing my weekly planning, I come here and I just take a look at it. For example, I want to make sure I brush my dog's teeth. So I would just plan that out in my daily planner pages. But items that I don't want to forget to do weekly, I have here on my weekly routine little sticky notes. So when you take a moment to put things on your daily planner pages, or if you have a weekly planner, if you write out your daily task on your weekly planner, this is the transition between doing weekly planning and daily planning. Do you know the item that Franklin Planner recommends that you write first in your daily planner? What you write first in your daily planner or weekly planner are your big rocks. The things that are most important to you goes in first. Everything else is gravel and falls around it. So the reason why you want to put your big rocks in first is because time is limited. So you want to make sure you do those things that are most important to you and your values first. You can only do so much in a day. I hope you found this video helpful. In the next video, we will talk about daily planning. Please be sure to like this video. This is Tonya, helping you feel more organized so this can be your best year yet. Take care.